Hey guys, it's Marvin from Becoming Naked here. Today, I've got a thought for you. Today, I want to talk about how being around uncomfortable people is not good for your health and wellness. Even if you think and feel that you're okay in that circle. So, what do I mean by being around unproductive people is unhealthy for your health and wellness? Well, here's one thing. When you're on the path to wellness, when you're on the path to being more, achieving your goals, and just kind of becoming all that you would like to be, um, that is going to require good people around you. And I want to give an example, especially from the wellness perspective. So, for example, if you're trying to be healthy and you're around people who do not value health as a way of life and as a way of kind of being, health isn't a priority for them, it's not something that their lifestyle factors, and you're constantly around people who are doing things like that, you're going to find that you're going to get pulled into their habits. You're going to find that their way of thinking is going to seep into your own consciousness. You're going to find that you're going to start slacking in areas, and eventually you're just not going to make progress. So I'm primarily talking about it from this perspective, but there are other perspectives as well. If you're trying to advance in a career, or you're trying to build a business, or you're trying to change a career, and anything like that, and you're around people who are just very comfortable with the way things are, they're happy to get up every day and do the same things day in day out and not really progress themselves as an individual and kind of make their life this fantastic experience, that's gonna sap you. And I'm talking from experience here. And so what you want is a circle of influence that makes you uncomfortable, so that you're always growing and stretching and are becoming more and more and more. So I want to give you two examples here just to kind of shed some insight into why I'm saying what I'm saying now and how it relates to your path to wellness. So the first example is about in 2009 I became a vegetarian. 2010 I was a vegan, and I've only known one person who was a vegan at that time, and but she wasn't in my immediate circle, or well, she was, but I didn't really spend a lot of time with her. She was someone that I knew through someone else, but I didn't spend a lot of time with her, but she was helpful in terms of my early journey. But most of my time and engagements were around other people who were they were still eating meat, they were still drinking alcohol and doing all these other things that were kind of not necessarily against what I was wanting to do, but they were holding me back from getting to what I wanted to do. And so it wasn't a productive thing for me to do. And then, so what happens, you're around these people, and so when you start going to restaurants and when you start going to out and all those kind of places, a lot of these things, you're kind of an afterthought. People have parties, they have a birthday, they may invite you, but the accommodation that they provide for you is not very sufficient for what your goals and objectives are. And not many people really care to meet your objectives or support you in your lifestyle. And I'm not trying to apportion blame here. I'm not saying people need to, but you need to be mindful of the fact that when you're on this path, these are some of the obstacles, and these are the things that are going to either contribute to you achieving the wellness that you want to achieve, or it's going to contribute for you not achieving it and going back and having unhealthy habits, having a crazy lifestyle that doesn't support you, and just becoming depressed and anxious about life in general. So I would do that, and people would tease me about, oh, you sure you didn't miss this? And you know what I mean? And or they'd invite me places, and they would never ask me what I wanted. They would just provide me what they want to provide me with. And it just got to a point that it was hard to always be around people like this because I couldn't function as myself. I couldn't be who I wanted to be fully because there was always this kind of resistance, or there was this always kind of this obstacle that had to be overcome. So that's just one way. And another way is, as well, is that I've got quite a few friends who are very productive and very busy building businesses and very pursuing their goals in life and just really striving for the best that they can achieve. And I've typically been around people who, but the other side of that, sorry, is that I've also been around people who they're quite content with where they are. They don't really necessarily have a desire to be more. They don't necessarily have a desire to, you know, maximize their potential. And so what I found obviously is now I didn't have a problem with this. I'm me, they're them. I can respect people's individual choices in life. We're all here to make our own choices, and that's fine. And you would assume that you can kind of coexist with people like this because you think it doesn't affect you. But what I noticed now looking back over my life is that a lot of my stagnation was due to around being around people who do not want to pursue and progress further. And it's hard to see this when you're in the moment because people around you are not necessarily going to be pushing you and making you uncomfortable with your life because they're comfortable with theirs. They have no reason to push you. And in fact, pushing you is going to make them uncomfortable, and that's not what they're about. And I've also in the last year or so now, I've made a more of a deliberate effort now to cultivate relationships with people who are just a lot more compatible with what I'm doing in life, and I just feel the difference now. I did suffer with productivity issues. I got lazy. I wouldn't put myself out there. I wouldn't, or I'd create things and not really, what I mean, put my effort into it. I just became a bit apathetic, and I didn't, I got depressed about it because I wasn't making any progress. But and then eventually I realized, like, wow. And what contributes to that is the people you're around. And so when you try to get yourself out of the hole, you then realize you're alone in this, or you realize that the people that are around you are not going to be the people that are going to push you up, and so you need to be around other people. And so what I want you to know about this one is that you need to be around people who are going to make you uncomfortable. They're going to push you. I had friends who were working all the time and they were grinding, they were hustling, they were really waking up every day, going to work on their business, going to work on their goals. And, people ridiculed them for like, oh man, you're all work, no play. But these people had a vision, they had a passion, and they was pursuing it. And that's the other thing. You want to be around passionate people who just fuel you. Even if their passion is not the same passion as you, they get passionate about what they want to do. And that rubs off on you. And then eventually, that ignites the passion that's within you, and you want to go to work because everyone around you is going to work on their passion, their dreams, their vision, and you now feel guilty or feel like you now have to raise the bar. And so I've learned in the last just few months being around people, my mindset has been changing differently. My attitude's been changing simply because now I've now made the changes to bring more of those people into my life and spend more time around them. Because you start to pick on their traits, you start to pick up their thinking habits, you start to take on their actions that, they just get on with things. They're not around talking about things or discussing trivial matters. They're busy building their visions. And you want to do that too. And so if you're on this path and you're serious about becoming well and integrating mind, body, and spirit and becoming the best that you can be, healthy in mind, healthy in body, healthy in spirit, and just living a life of abundance and joy, you need to watch the people you're around, man. That's just real talk. And, it's out there. People refer to this and, we don't really take too much heed to it, especially if we feel we're content with the people in our lives. But what you have to ask yourself is, are the people around you helping you to get to where you want to go? And if they're not, you're going to have problems. And you're going to end up having stress, anxiety, and depression, low self-esteem. You're going to feel guilty about not being where you are in life. Time is going to pass you by, and you're going to wake up one day thinking, how the flip did I get here? And it's going to be on you, because it's your responsibility to make sure you have the right people around you to support your goals. And so whether that is relationship, social wellness, relationship wellness, physical, mental, spiritual wellness, you need to make sure people around you challenge you. They cause you to be more. They question you. They probe you. They make you uncomfortable about staying the same. And if you're not including people in your life like that, you're stagnating, and you're going to end up being left behind. So that's my message for today. It's just think about the people that you're around. Don't be around unproductive people. Be around people who are productive. They're proactive. They're proactively pursuing their thing. They're not just happy to wake up one day and do the same thing day in, day out. Or they're not just happy to complain about their misfortunes. They're getting up and they're grinding. They're going to work. And when I say work, I don't mean necessarily traditional work. I mean they're working on their health. They're in the gym. They're running. They're jogging. They're eating well. They're trying to eat the best food that they can. They're trying to take care of themselves. They're trying to take care of their lives. And you need to be around people who are passionate about that as well. Because if you're not going to make no progress. And trust me, I've done it. I've fallen down and I've been there. And I've risen back up, and I'm here to tell you that you need to make that a priority. Don't be around unproductive people. Start cultivating, seeking out people who are going to help you. I'm one of them. So if you want to connect here, man. I'm going to be sharing these videos and on my blog at www.becomingnaked.com, and that's what this is about. It's a community of people pursuing wellness. So yeah, definitely do that. And and what I would do is also create a video about some of the things I've done to really introduce new people into my life and start building relationships with people who are more compatible with what I'm trying to do in life and where I want to go. Wellness means change. And if you want to change certain things, you're going to have to change certain people. And it's sad sometimes because we're attached. We have good bonds sometimes. We have a lot of experience and memories with the people in our lives. But this life is, you get one shot at it, man, and you need to just be focused, and you need to make sure you got the right people around you, real people who are willing to push you where you want to go. And being around people that are just kind of content with the status quo, don't challenge things, they don't want to they avoid discomfort or uncomfortable situations. You don't want that. You really, 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 really don't want that. So think about it and look in your life right now and ask yourself, are the people in your life really supporting your goals? If you're trying to eat healthy, do you have other people in your life that are eating healthy? Because if you don't, you're going to get pulled in. You're going to get pulled in back into your old habits. Are you around people who, they, you're trying to build a business and they don't really care about progressing in their career or leaving a legacy? If you don't, you're not going to be inspired. You need to be around people who are inspired and passionate about what they're doing, because that will inspire you. Are you around people who work at their relationships and very and are very open and honest about what they do? If you're not, you're going to be around people who are miserable and complaining all the time. That's only going to feed negativity into you, which again contributes to your level of wellness. So be mindful of that. Until next time, take care. Peace.